Hey y'all, it's Indigo here. Glad to be back making videos again with the Grand Arena up now, and then we got that new TB later today. So finally some new things to make videos about. Let me give a quick shout out to my crew. I got my patrons, Spets, Eckel, Kazi, and Go Cubs. Silver tier is Mikayas, DinoCon V and Lenders, and then Gold, Johnny Cron, Castle, Wingnut, Rival, and LC Leviathan. I appreciate the support, guys. Thanks for helping me with making my videos. And if anyone else is interested in joining the crew, links down there in the bottom corner. You can check it out if it interests you. But let's get into the Grand Arena. I'm going to tell you guys a little bit about analyzing my opponent with the new matchmaking and whatnot. So let's go over that, and then I can show you how my battles went for round one of this exhibition. Okay, so today's matchup is against Clisson from Mortal Separatists. Here's his stats. He's 4.9 mil GP. I'm 4.45 mil. So there's a bit of a discrepancy there. He's about 200k higher in the character GP than I am, which is unfortunate because at this level, 200k may not sound like a lot, but that's the difference between a 90k combat squad on defense and a 100k combat squad. And you can do that, for all your squads. So it's just that little bit of improvement to each and every squad that, kind of helps. But I want to show you guys something. I want to put a link to the description, in my description of this tool you guys can use. It's a calculator that'll help you figure out this stat. What it is your top 65. If you can see down there at the bottom entry, that adds up your top 65 characters and shows you what the GP of those is. And it looks pretty close as to that's what they could now be basing our matchmaking off of. So I know they say we're not going to tell you our algorithm and what we've used, but look at all the other stats and look at that bottom stat with the top 65. So I'm going to put a link in the description, and there's a tool you can use. It's a little bit different than this one, and you can actually pick what number you want. Do you want 60, 65, 80? And you can use that to see kind of how close you are to all the opponents in your pool. Because I've looked at some of my other opponents. The smallest guy is 4.3 mil, and the largest guy is 5.1 mil and change. I mean, that's a pretty big variance. But all of us have the top 65 pretty much dead on, right? Within a few GP. So it seems like that's a pretty accurate tool to kind of match people up, which what that means is you need to start being ruthless with your top 65. Maybe Barris doesn't need that middle G12 piece, if it's not going to really add some, help to your combat squads that you use, if that makes sense. You're going to want to start being real selective on who gets G12 pieces, who gets G13, what are you going to do? You ain't going to want to add all the extra G12 pieces or even turn them into G12. But what this also means is that any characters that are rank 66 and above, you could get them as close to the line as possible if indeed that's what they base it off of, is top 65. And so you could kind of fluff your roster a little bit and it won't matter for matchmaking. So if you have some Gear 8, Genosians or whatever, and you're worried about getting them up because it's going to affect your matches in Grand Arena, it probably won't, as long as you make sure they're below your 65th character or whatever. You're only going to be based on those top 65 or whatever. It's still rough. I mean, it could be your top 80. We don't know. This is just kind of a tool to show you, and it looks like it's dead on for right now. So This is kind of an important piece of information, and hopefully you guys that are good with, I don't know, statistics and all that can kind of look at this and maybe that is what they use. We got to figure it out so that we can kind of spin it to our advantage and, you know, get better matchups. Because it seems like with the new matchmaking algorithm, you're being penalized right off the bat. I mean, okay, this is one example. They still haven't changed the fact that if you tie, the higher GP wins. So if you're dead efficient as a lower GP member, you're automatically going to lose every single tie because now you're going up against people that aren't as efficient in their roster as you, and their top 65 GP is the same as yours, but they're 5 mil plus and you're sitting at 4.3. That actually hurts you. And yet ties are rare, but they do happen. I had one and I lost because of it, and there's nothing you can do. So keep that in mind. I don't know. It's just something we're going to have to deal with from now on, I guess. But that's all I wanted to say about that. Let me go ahead and get into the battles and I'll show you how this round went. All right, here's the map. We're going to see what he put down. Up top, he's got his Darth Revan. Same with me. So it doesn't matter now where you put them, whether it's up top or down below, because there's 8 squads total. So you got the same number in each zone. So no longer is there an advantage to defending north or defending south. Either or, doesn't really matter. So he's got Darth Revan and a Jango Fett bounty hunter team up top. Then he's got his Padme team down below and a Boba-led bounty hunter team. That's what I want to say. That's what's interesting is, you know, that extra GP edge that he has. That means he could fill out some characters, you know, that I don't have. I don't happen to have all 10 bounty hunters all the way maxed out to field 2 full squads. So that is a little bit of a disadvantage. But anyway, here's his bounty hunter squad. He's got Jango and Bosk in there, but he did put IG-88, which he's so squishy, it's kind of a waste. Like, you're putting all these strong characters and got Embo and Aura in there, but once you throw IG-88, that's a weak link. And since there's no taunt right off the bat, you can just mow them down with Imperial troopers pretty easily. You can see there, Boba's already down once. Embo's red barred, he's gone. And there they go. Done with that, 60 banners. You can see they updated the graphics on the fight screen a little bit, so I don't know, it's kind of interesting. And client restart. This was last night after they had already done a restart, so I thought I was safe. But it turned out it counted my battles, so that was pretty good. Go down below. We got his Padme squad, which is interesting because not a lot of opponents that I've faced have put Padme on defense. And it actually can be a solid tactic because it seems like the best character to counter her with at the moment is Traya. Traya and the Triumvirate. So use Traya. You like to try and isolate Padme if you can to stop all the protection ups. But in this case, GK was already taunting, so went ahead and isolated him. Luckily, this guy's Padme was only 6-star and I think gear 11. So not quite as strong as if she would have been G12 or even 13. So able to work on her, got her red barred. Now she's gone. Once she's gone, the team kind of falls apart. They don't have that mechanic to get all the protection up like they do when she goes, because that's what she does. So then it gets a little bit easier from there. One drawback to having to face this team is they are really good at taking off some banners. You don't really have time to drag things out enough to be able to get some protection up back and try to top off the whole team. You can see how I got Assassin there, Sith Trooper, even Scion, even Nyla's trying to top him up a little bit, but everybody's lacking some protection. So it's a good squad to take some banners off the board, which it looks like my opponent's main thought to this match, because I went through his roster and he didn't really have a DR counter except his own DR. So he was hoping, put that up north and be super efficient, use meta teams on the rest of the squads and play the efficiency game. And, worst case, maybe we'll both get stuck on each other's Darth Revans. And I hate that. I mean, I don't know. I like to clear the whole board and see what's going on. It's not really my favorite thing to do, play the efficiency game on only a section of the board. So here's his other bounty hunter team. Trying to pick the lesser of the evils, because I don't know what he's got behind his Darth Revan zone, whether he's still got First Order, whether he's got a Jedi Revan or some other meta team back there. I don't want to go too overpowered. So good old Rex Wampa should be able to get it done. Got Hermit Yoda, and then threw K2 in just as a tank to help take some extra hits. Because you don't want, even the bounty hunters with the Boba Lee, they get that extra damage. You don't want an unlucky shot from Boba to be able to knock out Wampa whenever he happens to lose his protection up. So, like to have K2 in there just because he's kind of a self-taunting character. Take the focus off of Wampa and squishy old Rex for a little bit. And you can see he's doing his job. He's down to the red, but trying to do what I can to keep him alive just for the extra points. And there goes Greedo, so just 2 left to go. Throws some Master's Training up. Got 1 left. Power up Wampa a little bit. Probably could have went for the killing blow, but just trying to see what I can do to, heal up a little bit there. But that was it. 58 banners, not too bad. Able to get through that one, and we'll see what's back in the back. And this is why, he put that Padme squad out front, and I told you Trey is the best counter for that right now. Well, then he threw his Scoundrel team in the back with Nest, which the Trey squad is also probably the best counter against an Emphas Nest on a team, because you can get, you got Isolate, and you got no danger of your other team dying till you get that Annihilate off from Nihilus. So, this is me throwing some junk at the Darth Revan team, trying to burn the specials, but I didn't burn off his ball lightning, and I really should have. You can see that makes kind of a huge difference. I should have thrown a little bit stronger of a trash squad in the beginning, because him being able to start off with that ball lightning special really does a number on the team. Already you can see Jedi Revan is death marked, trying to decide, kind of what I want to do here. Was debating about doing the group heal, trying to heal everybody up and clear off some debuffs, or trying to dogpile on Darkside Bastilla. They were able to take out my Yoda, which is difficult because, he's the main damage dealer. The reason I didn't take Jedi Revan with Thrawn as like the Operation Metaverse counter and go first time through is I was adjusting my mods and I forgot that I had taken some speed off of Jedi Revan. So even with the bonus, I would have been slower than his Darth Revan. And that, that's no good. That doesn't work for a counter. So I'm going to be stuck with that for this week while this GA is going on. And I know I got some pretty fast Darth Revans in this group. So this will be interesting to see how things, pull out. So that failed miserably. I still do have some other teams, but we're going to jump right back down south and go after those lesser teams. He's got his Scoundrels there, so we'll go after those. This is something I wanted to try, and I figured since I already failed on his Darth Revan team, I might as well give it a shot and try it. And it's EP lead team. Got my Vader, Tarkin, Shore Trooper, and then I got my IPD. I recently got it up to 12, and I put the Zeta on it. I kind of like it. I wanted to be using it against Padme teams, but I wasn't quite sure with his Padme with C-3PO. I know those are harder to beat on defense, so I didn't want to burn this one there. I wasn't too sure about that, so I have it here, and I figured, worst case, I can use IPD to blow up Nest. So that's what I'm going to work on doing. One of the things you got to worry about doing kind of right off the bat is getting around L3 to be able to take out Vandor Chewie. You don't want Vandor to be able to bring him back, and it is a pain if you're able to get rid of Nest and then Vandor turns around and brings her right back. So I always try and take out Vandor as early as possible. You can see he's red barred there. The AoE took care of him, so it gets a heck of a lot easier. As long as you can get around L3's taunt, then you can start taking people out. So this is what I'm working on doing. You can see Young Han is red barred, still working on L3. I can blow up IPD, but don't want to do that while you're stuck under L3 taunt, because you want to save that that blowing up for Nest to be able to take out Nest. And there we go with the AoE shock. Got rid of Young Han, still working on L3, trying to heal everybody up. Probably the drawback to this team is that there is no way to regain protection. So if you're going to try and play an efficiency banner game, that's the downside, is that you can win, you're just not going to get max banners out of it. Now I just got Nest left, so working on Nest. Got to wait for IPD to go down a little bit of health. And I could have done it there. I could have done the Emperor's Cackle, where he'll take a bit of health off everyone. I was really trying to time it right to where Nest would go and then lose some of that extra protection, and then I can blow her up, because you only get one shot at it. You don't want to sit there and mess up, blow up too early, and not get through all the bonus protection. So trying to end up timing it right. Nest counterattacks are starting to do some heavy damage. So use a culling blade there to take away everything. Hit Nest, no counterattack there. Throw some more debuffs. I probably should have seen about blowing her up, a little bit early. But that took care of that. Was able to blow her up. Not too many banners on that one, but the squad does work. I just gotta adjust their mods a bit better and then work on getting my timing down. I'm sure you guys that are used to that could kind of tell me, point me in that direction. This is his next squad. He's got Shakti lead with the clones, and he's got Gear 12 Shakti double Zeta. So this is pretty interesting. I haven't ever gone up against one of these before, and I really like the character of Shakti, so I can't wait to get mine up. That's going to be pretty nice, I think. Just from a story standpoint, I like that character, and the fact that she'll lead the clones, I think that's pretty neat. And that'll give me an extra squad to use, since I had to put down 8. I need to put down something that has a shot at taking some banners off the board. Because I don't know what I would have used if I didn't have like a top team. Like this Padme team is a pretty top team. So I could have went with a lesser team, but it seems like it would be something I'd underestimate and then could possibly lose the match. So it was good to see how they interacted and everything, and I was still only able to get 55 banners out of that team. So it's another good team to take some banners off of your opponent's board. So that was that. I couldn't beat his Darth Revan team. I did try another time because I still had CLS. I went ahead and threw him in there, but you know, it didn't turn out good at all. So that was no good. My opponent has gone. He's going piece by piece, I think, just to be as efficient as he can. He still hasn't cleared my board, but after I went first and showed him that he only needs to clear the bottom half and my one squad up top with Darth Revan, he doesn't need to waste any of his meta squads on Darth Revan. That frees him up to be able to use the best of what he's got left to take out my remaining squads. He doesn't have to waste anything on Darth Revan, and he doesn't have to waste anything and hold anything for the back. He just has to be more efficient in the south and the one squad up top that he's got to kill. So that's kind of the drawback of going first. If you fail against their Darth Revan in that situation, then they got you. So, doesn't look too good for me, but again, I'm excited to be back making these videos. It's fun and got to shake the rust off and get back into it. But let me leave you guys with this. Put a little treat out here and show you guys what I'll have in store, you know, for the next week or whatever, next Grand Arena. Shout out to my buddy Mikayas. He runs a modding service. He'll go through, make sure you got the right squad compositions and the right mods on the right characters. Give your account a real nice tune-up. I'll put the link to his Discord in my description. Go ahead and check him out. Tell him Indigo sent you. Thanks for watching my video, guys. If you enjoyed the video, please give me a thumbs up, subscribe, share your comments down below, and hopefully you'll check out my other videos on my channel. Peace.